Good morning, and on this absolutely gorgeous morning, and I've always had a lot of comments from people that know me that I should show a little bit more on the sort of work I do outside of my house. And one of the little jobs I've done recently is this just ordinary looking garage, and I've made a gym inside there in the front section, and basically we split the garage in two. It's my beautiful self looking straight back at me, and through here we've made a bit of a, what would I call it, like a man cave I suppose, and we got an office there. So from the outside it just looks like an ordinary garage there with the shutter doors, and then I knocked through the back of the garage as well, just put a lintel in up there, and right at the back would have been the boundary wall of their neighbours, so we built right up to that. We got a little kitchen unit in there. They've got their hot water and lots of USB and sockets, and we're going for sort of quite a decent level trim. And through here as well we got a little utility room and toilet. So this is all space they've managed to free up in their house as well. Just a little window there at the back as well. So it's a little insight into one of many different types of jobs I do. So this same property now, they want me to build an extension, so we'll go around the back of the house, around the back of the property, and I'll show you what I'm up. Right, we're just leaving the garage, and just before we go around the back of the property, the first job obviously in the extension is to dig out the foundations, and I've ordered a machine and it turned up this morning, a little mini excavator, but unfortunately it was too big. So I don't know if the camera's picking it up. You can just about see the tracks on the tarmac. I don't know, it's a bit bright there. But we just couldn't get it round this. I'll show you what the issue was now. We just trampled all over these plants here. Managed to break a pot there. And we came here. I took the gate off, which I was expecting to do anyway, to get round the corner. But the issue was that flue up there. The gas boiler flue. The roll cage on the machine, we just couldn't get it past there. Perhaps, if we took this out, we might have just done it, but we're going to just they're just going to exchange it for another small, and just here as well it narrows a little bit, so we might have struggled to get it through that gap there, but we would have got it through, but just a slight tilt and it could have banged up against the render there, and that's the last thing we want. So there's the site of our extension. So it's just going to come off those patio doors. It's going to be about 4 meters wide by 3 meters, or 3.5 meters out. So it's all this sort of patio area here. So I'll keep filming as we progress, and we'll take it from there then. So we've just done a little test hole. It's going to be a rafter foundation, just to see what we've got. So we've got a huge amount of digging to do, because all this has got to be dug out. So we'll end up with something resembling a swimming pool. Hopefully we get it concreted before it becomes a swimming pool. So I'm going to crack on with that, and we shall show you the progress as we go on. So the digging has started out. I've just started scraping out where the rafter foundation is going to go, and while we got the machine I'm doing a bit of landscaping as well, so that's where we're at the moment. Right, quick update on where we are at the moment. We've just dug all around what's going to be sort of the landscaped area for the patio. So preparations are ongoing now for the rafter foundation. That's all the steel that's going in there. And if we just make our way round, I've progressed in the last day or two, and I've started filling back in the big swimming pool I dug. So we got put in about 6 tons of scalpings have gone in there. Probably another 4 or 5 tons needs to go in again, and just doing a bit of landscaping at the same time as well there. So we've extended the garden out. So yeah, we're making progress. We've had 4 large skips out at the moment, 4 8-yard skips, so it's a huge amount has been dug out. Right, please forgive me if this filming's a bit higgledy-piggledy and a bit sketchy and jumping about. I've just been really busy trying to get this extension finished. I've just been putting the roof on. It's a warm roof, so we got about 100 mil of insulation there, and it's going to be a rubber roof eventually. So all the front here is going to have their it's going to be larger patio doors, sliding doors, and we got the window here, so it's eventually going to be clad and rendered, the timber frame. And we'll have a quick look up the ladders. So this is where we're at the moment. We've got OSB sheet. We're just going to cut in a little sort of internal guttering, so there'll be no guttering on the outside, and you know, just look a bit sleek, and it'll have a nice sort of aluminium cladding on the outside as well. So I'll take a few pics as I go along, and you can look at the progress. So I mean, to give you an idea of how thick the roof is, that thickness there, measuring, is all just insulation, and then does that make sense? So it's about 37 centimeters in thickness. So we've got the roof joists, then the furrings to give the angle, OSB, and then a vapor barrier, insulation, and some more OSB on the top then, and then eventually the rubber membrane. So I'll take a few pics as we go along, and you'll see how progress goes. Right, a quick update where we're at the moment. I'm cutting up this insulation, 100mm insulation, which is going in between the cavity walls here. And the method I'm using is a vacuum cleaner attached to a circular saw. It's not cutting right through it, so I'm just finishing it off with a handsaw then. But it gets a fairly accurate cut. And I'm just clamping a bit of wood each time I do it, and using that as a guide. So this is where we're at the moment. Got all the walls insulated there, and I've just got a little bit more to do there. And today's a big day because the windows are going in, so all that section there is coming out. We've got a big window going in there, and the patio doors going in there. And I've finished all the fascias as well, which we did out of an aluminium clad. They look quite smart. And then we're going to get like a silicon render on the outside eventually. These are a cement board basically, which they're just screwed on. So that's where we're at. We're going to have a few spotlights up there on the overhang, which will, I think will finish it off quite nicely. And I've got like a hidden guttering as well on the roof there, which I think it makes it look quite sleek as well. So I'm going to press on, and hope you enjoy the rest of the project. Right, just coming to the end and completion of the extension I built. It's all taking shape. We've got our rubber roof there, and we're about to render the sides. I'm using a silicon based render. I've done all the landscaping as well. And now this is everything I need to do the render. I've got all the other bits in the garage. I'm a bit concerned because it looks like it's starting to rain. So I'll just take a few snaps as I go along because I'm panicking a bit. I'd like to go into more detail about it, but we're sort of relying on the weather a bit. I'll stick a few pictures on. Right, so just a quick update. I'm just preparing all the drip beads and the corner beads there prior to the render going on. So it's also got to have the reinforced mesh. So I'm going to cut everything to size before I start rendering. So there's going to be, well, you start off, there's a base coat with the reinforced mesh in there, and then wait for that to go off, so about 24 hours, and then another base coat, and then that's floated up nicely, nice and smooth, and eventually we put a primer on, and then there's the colour, depending what colour we want. We're going to try to match it close with the building, which is white at the moment, and then there's the textured coat then, which is just a very thin, it's just like a silicon based sort of grit finish. So I'll hopefully show you the finished result. You can see if we have a look inside the building there, it's all completed. You got underfloor heating. I would show you inside, but they've left the key on the other side there, so I can't open it. Is that picking it up? I don't know, it's a bit of a strong reflection there, but yeah. Right, here we are at this particular stage now. I'm just getting the second coat of render on. I don't know if anybody's interested, but this is the product I'm using. It's a bit over. Oh, there we go. It's this retro base. It's like a silicon-based render. So it's already had one coat with the reinforced mesh in it. That's gone off, and we're just getting the second coat on. It's not looking too pretty at the minute. I'm just concentrating on getting it on, and then we'll flatten it out. And then once that's dried, there's a base coat, a colour base coat that goes on, and then it's just sort of like a granular sort of finish. So I've sort of masked up to ensure that we don't get any mess on there, but here's where we are. So all the way around's got that reinforced mesh in it. So I'm just going to press on them. It's a shame that nobody's here to do a bit of camera work for me, and then you could sort of see it going on. But we'll do another little update in a minute. I'll get all that on, well, probably more than a minute. And we'll press on. This is the product I've used. It's the first time I've used it, and this is the morning after the job I've done. I did it quite late in the evening, so we'll go have a quick look at the results now. And it's obviously a silicon-based product, and I was a bit nervous doing it because, like I said, it's my first time. So let's go have a quick look at. Right, here we are, the morning after, and let's see how close I can get here so you can get an idea of the texture. So you basically just sort of trowel it on and then sort of float it up afterwards. But I'm quietly pleased with myself for a first attempt. Going to zoom in there, see if we can sort of a small grain texture there. So I'm just going to finish off some small details like siliconing all along the top edge there, and obviously tidy up. I didn't tidy up last night because while it was all wet and everything, I didn't want to cause any mess. So we'll have a good tidy up, seal everything up, and then we'll take some final pics and right, here we are with the finished product, and it's pretty much turned out as I would have liked. Let's have a little zoom in here. I've uncovered everything so you can have a good look at it. We've got aluminium fold doors, slide doors, sorry. So very much appreciate all the support you can give, so if you please remember to like and subscribe, and I hope you've enjoyed this extension from start to finish. And a bit of tape there still to come off on the side of the wall, and just along the top there we just got to take the tape off. So once again, please like and subscribe, and any questions of any sort, any criticisms, always I take everything on board, so good and bad, so let me know in the comments as well. Thanks a lot.